What's up everyone, this is going to be a shorter episode with a couple of new mods you absolutely need to get ASAP to improve your Oblivion experience. Or this here might happen.
By the nine divines of Hoth, can't you settle this peacefully?
So one of the mods you really need is an L tag remover. You might have noticed that if you install a mod that adds something new like weapons and armor, or even just does some edits to existing NPCs for example, there will be an NL tag in front of their names. It stands for non-legit or no localization and indicates that those records have been changed in some way. So this mod gets rid of those NL tags. Also keep in mind that this mod requires the Oblivion script extender to work, so you will have to get it and run your game through the new executable. Alternatively, you can get the Haphestias fix mod. This does the same thing, plus a ton of other fixes. This mod also does not require the script extender for some reason. Another mod you will probably want is improved camera. This mod changes the camera in third-person view to a position closer to how it usually is in modern games, and in my opinion, from all the camera mods out there, this one adds the most appealing perspectives. Especially the close camera is really weird positioned in this game, so with this fix you will be able to see your character better, but also the enemies ahead of you, especially if you roll an archer. This is very useful. This mod also changes all the camera perspectives, including the swimming and horse riding camera, so it is the complete package. Another new modern feature Bethesda actually added to the remaster is the procedural leaning. You probably noticed how your character always leans forward when you run up a hill. The problem here is that it looks a bit too extreme, especially when you stand still in such a place and your character looks down like they are super depressed or something. Or when you try to look cool by walking slowly and your character keeps stumbling over every pebble in the road. This is why with the mod Reduced Procedural Slope Leaning you can reduce the leaning by 50% or turn it off completely. Here is a good comparison of what it looks like. Or if you are a complete sick bastard, you can of course also increase it. Then it will look like something like this, searching for ants or something. Next we are going to talk about spells. This game has a lot of spells as a matter of fact, and the more spells you learn, and also considering that you can create your own spells, sooner or later your spell category might become really cluttered. So the simple ability to delete old and obsolete spells will really come in handy. With this mod you basically just hold down the shift key and click on the spell you want to delete, and it's gone. Simple as that. And speaking of spells, how about spells with voice? The Spoken Incantations mod is exactly that. It adds a Latin incantation to all the spells based on their type. So when you cast a spell it will be kinda like in Baldur's Gate.
Dominus imago. Inflammatio. Deus curario. Mortis. Kylo Imperium.
Yeah, I would say that actually sounds more like the spells in Baldur's Gate 2, except that it's usually 3 words there. There is also a format menu during the installation where you can select between male and female voices and also which spells will be affected and so on. And the funny thing is that the voices also apply to enemies. All enemies, it seems. Yes, it's kinda funny hearing those imps with such deep voices all of a sudden. Maybe they have been voice maxing too much. Anyway, another really useful mod is the Asterisk of Wisdom. There are many books in this game, some people like to read them, some people don't. However, some books act as skill books and will improve your skill level when read, so this mod adds an asterisk to those specific books. That way you will know what's important and what's not. The cool thing is, it is just a name edit, so you will obviously see it if you browse the shopkeeper's wares. That way you will never miss any skill books. And another cool mod, and something I have not expected to see that fast, is HUD Clock. Now you will probably say we have a clock in the wait menu, but no we don't. See, can't wait when enemy is nearby. Of course we can also open the map, there is the time too, but it can require several button presses, at least 2, to open and close. However, the widget of this mod adds the clock right there, in the middle of the screen. Single button press. It is toggle able by default, so it will stay. Unless you change it, then it will only light up for a second. You can also adjust the position, all that in the engine ini, so it saves time. Unless you play with a controller and the keyboard is far away somewhere, I guess. But that is not important. What's important is the time, and we are running out of time. So thank you all for watching, the links are in the description, see you around, bye!